they were just running on fumes with ideas, which is a shame. But the first 2 years are just...
They were like Kramer and Seinfeld in that car. Was running out of gas.
Yeah. Just we can keep going. Then they see the dealership. We can keep going.
And then they just walk away.
Right.
All right, I want to tell you. So I put together a coaching staff. So the owner's yogurt from Spaceballs, merchandising, money, merchandising. My coach is Rudolph Russo, Kurt Russell, used cars.
So you did get a Kurt Russell guy in there. Okay.
I think he's a good head coach because he unites everyone, and he's kind of shady. He can lead. My offensive coordinator is John Doe from 7. My defensive coordinator is Christine Clare from The Game. My special teams is Chris Knight from Real Genius. Also, the people that I didn't pick were Ted.
Wait a minute, who from?
Val Kilmer from Real Genius.
Well, brilliant, but who from?
Christine Clare from The Game. Remember, she travels from everywhere.
Is that Kara Unger?
Yeah.
So she was on my short list.
Yeah,
and then I just felt like I had Elizabeth Salander, and I had Amy Dunn. I just decided to put her. I just was like, I didn't want that whole thing, but she
could coordinate.
Yeah, I really wanted to get someone in. I think The Game, I get it. I know people get into the final 15 minutes and the continuity.
Too much.
It's just, I know people get, like, they overthink it. I think it's such a good movie. If you just take it as a movie, it's brilliant. If you start thinking about, could this happen in real life, it starts to play with your head a little bit and gets a little frustrating, but I love Kara Unger in that movie.
And then I didn't pick Ted from Bill and Ted's. He was going to be my quarterback. I had Barf from Spaceballs, defensive end. He's half dog. I had H.I. McDonough from Raising Arizona, who'd have been a wide receiver. I picked Bart the Bear from The Great Outdoors to be a defensive lineman.
Wow.
Didn't add him.
Get the old 69er. Again, talk about a pregame meal.
That's right. I love that movie when he eats that. Meg Altman from Panic Room. You can't catch her.
No,
she saves everyone. And then I had Ricky from Fight Club. He was the first to join Project Mayhem. He doesn't quit.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that listen to this that will be shocked that we did not have anyone from Fight Club on this list. But when I went through the roster of characters, I did not, either it was too obvious or you can't put Brad Pitt's character in the locker room. It's just going to be a mess.
Yeah.
I don't
Mayhem.
I didn't need that. And then when you start going into other characters, you were really going, kind of getting deep into like the third, fourth guy in the fight room. I'm like, okay, then that's no one's going to know who that is. So why go that route? But I think people are going to be a little surprised that Fight Club didn't get anyone in the draft room.
You're just too blonde. And the groundhog from Caddyshack, running back. It would go underground. No one could tackle it.
Yeah, I thought about,
Or it could be a defensive end and just put a bunch of holes in the field. That'd be chaos for the offense.
See, I went with Fletch, and Ty Webb was definitely in my circle. I mean,
No.
Well, just the zen. He could bring. He would bring Basho.
You see those putts he nailed?
He would bring Basho into the locker room, and I think that would be
Roger Dorn.
Like you have Joe Boo. Like I thought about Ty Webb, and I thought about Basho, and because a donut without a hole is a Danish.
Yeah. Is that a $100,000 check?
Well, the other thing what I liked about Ty Webb was he would measure himself against all other golfers by height.
Yeah, I love that. And my last one I thought about doing was Lisa from Weird Science. Because kind of a genie. Or not genie, but like a magical... I don't know. That just seemed... I wanted, But I wish I would have put the groundhog.
Well, you got Audrey 2 in there. So, and the other guy I really was trying to figure out how, and maybe he'll, maybe he could be like my co-owner that gets kicked out by the league I got Kevin Spacey, so maybe this is a bad way to go, but I really wanted to get Phil Knight. I really wanted him somehow, some way. I mean, you talk about an iconic figure in film comedy, underrated, like his skill in comedy, I think it's so effortless that people don't recognize it. Yeah. But I really was trying to figure out...
Done his Caddyshack character?
Oh, well, just Phil Knight in general. Oh, but that was going to be the one you'd have to go with. But great golfer.
What about Rodney Dangerfield from Back to School? He pulled a triple Lindy.
Well, I know. I thought about that, but it's just like...
A triple Lindy.
But it's so hard to believe. I thought...
I love his stretches.
It's... So, but I would love to have... maybe Maybe Phil Knight. Maybe he could be like the eccentric equipment manager guy. Maybe he's somewhere.
Bill Murray's character is the equipment manager.
That's too obvious, though.
Yeah, but I would go with one too obvious just to throw people off.
Yeah, because I thought about like Bill Murray. There's some really good ones in there. Like I thought about his
Slimer.
Well, Stripes.
We should put the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, I thought about him too. I thought he would be just yeah.
We did a draft one time, and I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, Marshmallow Man's good.
Someone drafted the Sarlacc Pit, and just like as maybe a offensive lineman or like a safety.
Wow, that's a good one.
How could you get around it?
But the only problem with the Sarlacc Pit, like Audrey too, is it's just the lateral movement. It's stationary.
How do you travel?
Yeah, it's stationary. That's going to be your issue.
You'd only play at home games.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So so that's going to be your downside.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting if you get comments and everything. It'll be interesting at what other people have to say. Maybe some ideas. Maybe they're going to find the holes in our. Like right now we're looking. It's like you ever like watch the NFL draft and it's all upside and everybody drafts. Everyone's looking at upside.
Yeah,
and then over time you realize that there are deficiencies. Not everyone is the perfect player. It would be interesting if we get comments and people kind of poke holes in our team and kind of see some of the blind spots that we're not seeing right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? How about this? If you want to listen to it, send me your picks and then tell us how our teams are crap.
Yeah.
But tell us how our teams are crap if you send in your picks. And then Sean and I will look at your picks and then we'll tell you how those are crap.
Not even so much crap. I mean, if you have a good argument as to the holes, like I'm honest with Audrey too. Like
this is the internet.
That's true. You don't need reasons.
But our listeners are smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was glad that you got through an entire podcast without taking a shot at me and Thor Ragnarok. Because it seems like that seems to be like your new like.
That's only when Megan's on.
And it's like so subtle now. Like you say it, and like now it's reached the point that you don't. I'm like the only one that picks up on it when I listen.
You doing it now. You just said.
I was laughing so hard when you did your MCU. No, you did Endgame. And it was a subtle shot. It wasn't even like an over. I was laughing so hard. I was like, this is brilliant.
I still don't buy it. 18. I think in 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 30 years, you know how Batman is being looked at now, 30 years later, as just a groundbreaking movie? I don't think any of the MCU movies are going to be looked at in 30 years. I think Thor Ragnarok could be the one that people look at and just fondly remember.
Really?
I don't think they're going to age well. And since it's so saturated, I think since it's different enough, I think it might be the one that's looked at as, like, the most watched.
There is an article that's out right now discussing Star Wars land in Disneyland that was just built, and Disney World is actually shocked that crowds are not nearly as high as they thought they would, and they're trying to figure out reasoning. But there was a very honest article that was written that said, Star Wars is a product of our childhood. The kids today, okay, they got The Force Awakens and they got The Last Jedi, but it's not culturally, it's not part of their childhood. So they're not married to Star Wars the way their parents are. And so when you talk about aging well, it'll be interesting when this generation becomes our age and like their kids, like, oh, you gotta watch Captain America, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think that some of these generational iconics types of films that we view one way, that next generation, it's just not. I mean, they may go, okay, yeah, that was cool, but it's not like the way you and I. Like, I remember in 1978, I was 8 years old in that summer, and I think I saw Star Wars every day for like a month.
Wow.
Because, well, back then,
8 years old. Yeah.
8, 9 years old whenever
Greatest
it came out.
10
years old whenever I was when it came out. 79, 80, right?
77.
77. And I think every day I begged my parents to take me to news. Now remember, we're timing everybody. There was no internet. There was no nothing.
Yeah.
It was like, and you would go to a twin theater and see it. So it wasn't like today. But what movie today do kids beg their parents? Pejoratively speaking, I know we got phones and it's a different world, but what movie today do kids just go see over and over and over again? Like they're just married to it. I mean, is there, or are we just oversaturated and there is no such movie?
If they re-release Roadhouse, kids would go see that a lot.
You think?
No.
Okay, you said it was such a level serious. I was like, okay, but I'll be interested in this answer. Okay.
I couldn't think about it. I don't know.
I know. I throw in a.
I think there's a saturated market. I really do. I don't know.
It's weird for me to go see a movie a second time now in the theater.
And as much as I really enjoyed Endgame, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, so you don't want to be watching that every day.
Right.
It's a tough watch every day movie.
I find myself watching 50s movies and 60s movies more than I watch today's movies again. Like, I'll watch, like last night, we were watching North by Northwest. I'll watch Rear Window, Vertigo. You throw some of these iconic Casablanca at me, man, I'll sit there and watch it all the time. It's just funny. It's just, but you want to sit down and watch, I don't want to say Ragnarok. Let's pick an MCU movie that's like in the middle.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sit down. I'm not going to be like jonesing to see it.
I'd want the movies I watch the most are Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I know you love that movie, man. You and Mo.
They talk about undercarriage, like watching like truth serums. It's weird and it's funny. It's like
and that's where you and Megan like Ragnarok, or maybe it was too much of a psychedelic trip for me.
Yeah.
A little bit. And the other thing about Ragnarok, I will say, which probably affects my when I listed it a little lower, I'm not. I think Mark Ruffalo did probably the best. I'm not a Hulk guy. So Hulk as a character is not someone that overly interests me, and there was a sizable role in Ragnarok for Hulk. So I'm probably somewhat biased a little bit that anything with Hulk I tend to, okay.
Got it. Well,
that said, boy, if we had done an MCU draft, I think we'd be battling for the Hulk as far as the...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would have been the...
Actually, I would just do all the members of X-Con from the Ant-Man movies in a row.
Just...
The entire Ant-Man cast.
Hey, you bring all those ants together, baby.
There's a lot of them.
They can build a mountain.
Billions, trillions.
You can build them. Yeah, you can build a pyramid.
All right, well, hey, thanks for coming back.
Thanks,
Next time we have you on, maybe a Bond film, something like that.
Sure.
We'll do it again. All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Sean Eldershire, this is Movies, Film, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.